Alright, we've got two World of Warcraft trailers. One is for the official release date of the next expansion, and the second one is for the Shadowlands cutscene. So, both are going to be good. That being said, I know very little about the upcoming expansion, so most of it's just going to be me picking out what I see in a video and sort of hoping what we're going to see in the expansion. So don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for me. And for some reason, these things are not opening up very well. But okay, fine. Let's just watch the video since the poster doesn't want to open up. All right, this is called Shadowlands Afterlives Bastion. As soon as they say Afterlives, I'm kind of like, who are we gonna meet? My top picks would be Arthas, because like protagonist of Warcraft 3 onwards, of course, everyone wants to meet him. Who else that died? Hellscream, the dad. Illidan's not really dead. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Those two. Give me those two. Oh, did I strike gold? No, that's Uther. Alright, Uther. Nah, that was a close third. And there's Arthas! Beautiful! And there's Midnight. And Frostmourne.
Light, save my soul.
About that.
Uther.
Where am I?
Welcome to Bastion. You led a truly selfless life, and for that, you have been chosen.
Chosen?
To shed your mortal burdens and join the ranks of the Ascended, serving to ferry the souls of the dead unto the Shadowlands.
I serve the light, and my work is not done. There is an evil that must be...
There is no evil here. The darkness was sealed within the Maw long ago.
You're wrong. He destroyed my home, murdered my people and my king. He must be punished.
You are an aspirant now. You must accept your new purpose and purge yourself of this desire for vengeance.
What I desire is justice.
I like how the two are so open to interpretation. It's not vengeance, it's justice. It's not revenge. Beautiful. So human.
Devos, why are you training this soul? It is beneath your station as a paragon.
He cannot let go. He continues to demand retribution for his death.
And this concerns you? Many souls take eons to ascend.
Yes, but this one seems broken, Thenios. Unlike any soul I have seen. I have begun to wonder whether he was deemed worthy of Bastion. By mistake.
Be careful, Devos. I would not let the Archon hear such a thought. In time, he will forget. Trust our ways. Trust the path.
I love the path. In time, he will forget. Some people take eons, which is millions of times longer than their actual lifespan. But eventually, they will forget why they are here. The fuck? I can't even right now.
Devos, how long must we train?
Until you are ready to ascend.
And what is keeping me from ascension?
Nothing but the memory of your mortal life.
How can I forget when I can still feel his blade?
Your soul is wounded? Who did this to you?
He was my student. He betrayed us all.
Show me.
The runes on his blade were unmistakable. This dark agent runs free on a mortal world with the power of the Maw itself in hand. Our realm is imperiled.
Impossible. The Maw is inescapable. You must return to the path.
If
Can I just point out, this is exactly what happened in Star Wars, like, Episode 1, when he's like, the Sith has returned. No, they haven't. They've been gone for a millennia. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. Fucking word for word. Council and everything. Look at this shit. They're even in a circle.
on his blade were unmistakable. This dark agent runs free on a mortal world with the power of the Maw itself in hand. Our realm is imperiled.
Impossible. The Maw is inescapable. You must return to the path.
If he had purged his life, we never would have known of this calamity. The path is flawed.
Enough! The order of the Shadowlands depends on the execution of our eternal charge. You will abandon this course.
As you command, my Archon.
Let's just ignore the problem.
Uther, the time of your ascension has come.
I thought I was not ready.
Do you wish to see him punished?
I do.
Then prepare yourself. The moment he falls, we will claim him.
Oh! 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 Oh!
I see. Only darkness before me.
I mean...
Now, cast him into the Maw. Return him to the darkness he served. His eternal suffering awaits.
He was my student.
Remember what he did, and take your vengeance.
Not vengeance. Justice.
Whatever you want to call it! One little thing that really gets me is Frostmourne, which is the rune blade he was stabbed with, for the people that are not familiar with Warcraft, absorbs the souls of the people it kills. So technically Uther's soul, the guy that just descended and threw Arthas into the Maw, his soul would have been absorbed into the blade. However, the blade was only broken at the moments before Arthas's death. However, Uther was already in the Shadowlands talking to this, whatever you want to call this lady, before that. How? How did his soul escape? Or was that not his soul? Because if you play World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King, you know that his soul is in the blade, because when the blade is housed in the armory of Icecrown Citadel, you actually speak to Uther. His soul like comes out of the blade and talks to the player, and then goes back in. They showed you the light saved part of his soul. Maybe Arthas didn't use the full power of the sword against his teacher, Mercy. So it only wounded his soul. I don't think he had control of the blade. I think the blade itself kind of does what it does. Because what ended up happening, and it actually took me a little while to realize, was when Arthas picked up the blade and started using it, the inscription on the blade says, in layman terms, just as the blade, cuts flesh, it's going to cut the soul of the user. So through using the blade actually absorbed his soul. So Arthas' soul was actually in the blade months after he started using it in Warcraft 3. So the Arthas that you actually see in World of Warcraft is nothing but a lifeless corpse being controlled by the blade. His soul is already in the blade. And it wasn't really the act of mortally wounding him that killed him, but rather the shattering of the sword, which released the souls, which means it no longer had control over the dead, meaning that the corpse that was walking around, which is the corpse of Arthas, just falls on the ground and dies. So it's a very... it's well thought through that you won't actually pick up on first time playing, but it actually explains a lot. It explains a lot, because the body was nothing but a puppet, which is interesting in its own way. All right, I want to watch the announcement trailer, and then we can talk a little bit about what happened. If the sword devoured his soul, maybe his psyche may have manifested to the afterlife. There was a part, there is a segment in the game where there was a part of Arthas still lingering on, and the Lich King, Arthas' body in the armor, he eventually ended up cutting out his own heart and throwing it down a well. And the character that you find in the game is effectively the name Arthas rearranged. So you sort of meet that part of the soul that was pure and innocent, and it takes the form of a little boy that looks like him as a child. So I think that whole part of the soul, the goodness part, was cut out a while ago. But it does bring a few interesting questions. I'm sure Matt will enlighten us. But first, let's watch the Shadowlands official release date trailer, because why not? 27th of the 10th. 2 months. 2 months, literally. Also, it looks like Arthur's got stuck in a root before the entrance to the moor. I don't think he fell into the moor. He's just stuck on the root. Imagine he's just dangling on. It's like, I ain't letting go. Technically not in hell. Given that it's 2 months away, I'm going to have to start brushing up on what the F is going on in World of Warcraft Shadowlands, because I do know we're going to have to make a decision on which of the 4 houses or convents we join. That being said, I know nothing about them, so I have to start researching very quickly to decide where we're going to go. Because if we don't, I'm just basically going to suck. So I want to see if I can actually open the damn thing if it loads, and then we can do the little discussion. In Kingdom Hearts, there was a character whose body and soul were taken over, but his will manifested into pure being of its own. Can you guess who? No. And being blind to the series, I don't want to. I want to forget it very quickly. All right, I'm gonna go really quickly into the live stream chat, and I think Matt's gonna explain to me what the F is going on.
Let me know when you're ready.
And it's working. It works. All right, go.
Alright, well, a couple things you should note about that. And when I first saw that, when that trailer was over, the first thing I said is, what have you done, Uther? You commit the most unpardonable of all sin. See, you know the Archon, how the Archon is, everybody seems to look up to the Archon?
You mean the guys that look like the Valkyries? Or
No,
Norse
those are
mythology?
those are the Kyrian. The Archon is the person that we're speaking to.
You mean the big lady that says, don't question things,
Yeah.
just start doing what we've been doing for thousands of years because that's how things work?
Basically, this is how it worked. You die in World of Warcraft, right?
Yes, I die and then I
You
run to my
can't-
body.
You stand before her, and she judges you on your life. And you either go to one of 5 places. Either one of the 4 covenants, each has a specific trait and they look for. If you're really bad, if you're unredeemable, if there's no redemption at all for you, the Maw.
So, alright, so basically, instead of having the whole, you're good, you go to heaven, you're bad, you go to hell, it's like, if you're really good, you go to heaven, if you're not so good, you go to one of these 4 places, depending on what type of shit you're into. That doesn't sound so bad. And then you've got the really bad place for the really bad people.
He skipped over the covenant and he basically just threw him into the Maw. Which means, and this is my theory, I think he's supposed to be in Ravensra. Each covenant matches a specific category. With the people, with what they look for in Ravensra, Arthur fit that perfectly.
So
You know what the one thing they love to find people with the most of?
I mean, I know absolutely nothing about the Covenant. So...
Pride.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's the Pride Covenant.
Who do we know who was a human and had an insane amount of pride?
Okay, so she basically led him to throw him into the thing. Fair enough.
Now, this changes a lot because, one, now remember how I'm really good at predicting where the story is going to go?
Don't spoil it for me or anyone else, but go on.
Okay, I haven't seen anything. I've been keeping very, very blind on the story, so I don't know the stories of the Covenant or how they're going. All I know is what Blizzard told her.
And
What
I know
Blizzard
even
told
less than that, because I don't even know what the Covenants are.
Blizzard said the jailer is the bad guy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think we're gonna kill him. Sylvanas is gonna try to take his spot. Arthas is gonna kill her. And he becomes the new jailer.
Well, like, if the jailer is what it sounds like, more being the place for the ultimate bad people, and the jailer being the person that keeps them all there and rules over that bad spot, wouldn't killing the jailer result in, I don't know, all the jail cells opening at once? And all the bad people from forever coming out?
We don't know. We don't know how that works. But what I do know is there's nobody more... He has... Like, if you ask anyone, what does he have that nobody else has? He was literally... His previous employment was Jailer of the Damned. Congratulations. You meet all the criteria needed.
Well, I think it was anyone that wore the Lich King's armor was pretty much a Jailer of the Damned. It was like, there you go. You're the Jailer of the Undead with your mask, and now... So,
a couple things to notice. When Arthur stabbed Uther, he's screaming, you can see a blue and a yellow thing coming out of him.
Let me open the
Those
video.
were his soul being split in two.
Let me
The
open it.
light answered. Remember, before he died, what did he ask the light? Save his soul. So the light literally listened to him and ripped part of his soul out, so Arthur couldn't take the whole thing.
So once the blade was broken, does he get it back or no? It's 2 parts.
He did, because if you watch at the very end, remember when he's holding Arthur above the maw?
Uh-huh.
His face has a remorse. Because remember, did you ever do the Shadowmoon Legendary Questline?
Nope, never finished it.
Okay, in that questline, this is the biggest thing. He forgave Arthur.
Ah, yeah, I see the splitting that you're talking about. 1 part's blue, 1 part's yellow.
So
right,
if he forgave Arthur, I think that's what you saw. Because at one point, there seemed to be 2 parts of his very soul. One that's been, they're not interacting well with it. I think he's having a split personality because one part of his personality wants justice, but the other remembers who he was, and he remembers why he did what he did. Arthur, did he do bad things? Yeah, but here's the thing people need to remember about him. He was trying to save his people. He had an undead horde of zombies marching upon his homeland. And a plague grain, which would have started that up in Stratholme. So what did he do? They're all gonna die and turn into zombies anyway. So I'm gonna give him a merciful death.
I don't think that, I don't see anything where his soul joins. My interpretation of it is that the part of Uther that was in the blade had time to think and eventually forgave him by watching his actions. Whereas the part that went up to the Shadowlands didn't see any of that. And the whole experience was just talking to this woman.
You don't see the joining. But what I think happened, because his soul was already released at that point. So his soul would have already went there. If you look at when he's holding him above it, his face at one point looks remorseful. Like he feels sorry for Arthur. Then she starts talking and then you see his face turn angry. That's when you see the turn happen. That's the other part of his personality. Which leads me to theorize there's 2 parts of his personality now. Because his soul was spent so long being split. Understand, people, it wasn't a few years between when Uther died and when Arthur died. It was something like 10 years at least. Maybe 20 or 30. It was a long time before Arthur finally got what was coming to him.
Primal made a interesting comment. Doesn't the angel lady feel a bit like Athena from God of War? It is true. She's like a female angel sort of thing in Greek mythology.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You oftentimes see Blizzard will actually they'll take things like that from other mythologies. For example,
you mean how they literally put Odin into the game?
Or the old gods are basically ripped off from Cthulhu mythos.
I mean, they're a copy and paste, effectively.
Pretty much. Cthulhu is Cthulhu.
Yeah. All right. Well, fair enough. It gives a little bit of context.
The point is about the whole thing. And so, I also want to show you this. Since you live in Australia, the game for you will launch October 27th at 10 a.m. Because they're doing worldwide opening. They're going to be launching all at once across the globe and in multiple time zones.
Yay, October 27 is a Tuesday. Why not?
Don't worry. When you start playing, it's going to be 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock at night for me.
I mean, I'm basically just gonna they're gonna force us to take annual leave. So you can imagine when I'm taking my annual leave, right? It just so happens to start on Tuesday morning.
So,
like half the fucking company takes annual leave on that 1 week.
Okay.
What's going on?
Don't look up the covenants yet, because guess why? For the next 3 weeks, they're gonna show you the other 3 covenants.
All right, that's
We
good.
saw Bastion.
That's good because I don't know what they're about, so it's gonna be very good for me.
Next week, Afterlives, Maltraxxus, and then Afterlives, Ardenwald, and then finally, my covenant I picked on my Demon Hunter, Afterlives, Sevendreth.
Okay, cool. So we get 3 weeks of
I bet money
cinematics.
you're gonna go to Sevendreth. I would bet money on that.
All right, so 3 weeks of cutscenes and cinematics. That's gonna be good because I'm not the reading type, so I'd rather watch videos to find out where we're going.
I'll say this right now. Props off the I wanna read off a couple people who I think deserve a hell of a lot of props. Props off the Ken Gregory. Him and his team were people who I think deserved a lot of. This was very good. This team and I'll actually link it to you on Discord, and you can bring it up on screen if you want to show people. That website actually has the credits for the thing, and I think those people deserve props because they did a fantastic job with it. This was fantastic.
All right, I'm gonna share
Once
that.
again, you gotta give props to Blizzard. They know what they're doing.
Oh no, they've always had an excellent cinematic department. Their cinematics were like from the Warcraft days, some of the best in the industry. All right, cool. I'm looking forward to the next few weeks of cinematics to hopefully get me in the mood for the new expansion. Because I logged onto my character and I'm like, what the fuck are all these items? So I'm gonna have to do some spring cleaning.
So I have a feeling the 17th, either the week of it's either September 15th or the 22nd. One of those 2 dates, I think we're gonna finally get the pre-patch.
Well, whenever it is, we'll basically find out. All right, let's wrap it up there, guys. Angel Lady was guiding the MC to the plot due to her argument with a superior's judgment. That triggers a lot of conflicts within the order. That fucking order is a bunch of hypocrites. They're a dictatorship. We do as we've always done. Don't question orders, just do them. Ignore any problems. It's like, oh, okay.
That's how the world works. You don't question it. What kind of communist are you? Oh, right. You grew up in Serbia. Never mind.
Star Wars in a nutshell. They were even standing in a circle. That's basically the council. That's the Jedi High Council of circle jerking, where they just ignore all the problems and everything falls to shit. Alright guys, let's wrap it up. Thanks for turning up, even though there was less than 15 minutes. Notice I'm going to start editing these things out and pop them up on the gaming channel. It seems that the internet is stable. I don't think it's dropped out at any point, so all things seem well. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow morning for the live stream, because that's when the weekend begins. So have a good night, look after yourselves, eat well, sleep well, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Till then, Ninja Kuma out. Bye.